What's good, everybody? This is the Russ and Vince Courtside Podcast, where we talk all things Laker basketball as well as all around the NBA. Today we had a series of great games today, but today we're going to be covering the Lakers-Wolves Round 1, Game 3. And boy, did we have a thriller. That was until about the last 2.5 minutes of the game. So let's just get into it. First and foremost, first quarter, not the way you wanted to start it. Lakers were down by 6, I believe. And the Wolves, you could tell, were definitely leaving their print early on in the game. They were very physical. They clearly wanted to start the game off a lot better than they started Game 2. And you could tell. And because of that, the Lakers end up, like I said, down by 6. Fast forward to the second quarter, looking a lot better. Going into the halftime, the Lakers had a 4-point lead. A lot better. What I noticed is in that first half, LeBron really carried the team. Him and Austin Reeves were really the only two players that showed up, at least offensively, for the team. Collectively as a team, they made a lot of adjustments in that second quarter compared to the first quarter, and you could tell that the adjustments that they made a lot better sense. That's what let them get to a 4-point lead going into the halftime. Fast forward to the third quarter, and it seems for some reason this year, the story of the Lakers always seems to be losing the leads in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. And as I'm watching this game, feeling okay that we got, a 4-point lead going into the half, I'm over here texting my friends, just talking about the game, what I thought so far. And the first thing that came to my mind is I just feel like this is going to be one of those games where the third quarter is just going to not be our friend. And I was right. And then we get to the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was just Anthony Edwards. I'm just going to say that. Fourth quarter was Anthony Edwards. He scored and assisted on so many points and buckets that I couldn't even keep track at this point. You could see that he was being a lot more assertive this game compared to the last two games, and he even said it in his interview. And because of his aggression, he was able to get a lot better looks, not only for himself, but also for his teammates. With that being said, I also felt like the Lakers had the opportunity to, in some ways, still walk away out of this game with a dub if they just cleaned up the way that they were playing. The story of this game, and I don't even think it's my opinion, it's just statistics at this point, are the damn turnovers and the damn points in the paint. I mean, you're not going to win many games at all, but especially in the playoffs, if you're turning the ball over 19 times compared to Minnesota's 11 times. You're also not going to win a game when you're allowing 56 points in the paint and you can only score and muster 26 points in the paint. Half of their team points was in the paint. The other half was between free throws and threes. The Lakers, from what I can see here, we actually won the three-point battle by 4 threes. That's 12 extra points that the Lakers had. But it made no difference because you're giving up a 40-point difference in the paint. What are we doing? So, to me, I'm just sitting here like, and I know some people are going to say it's okay, Luka was not feeling well. He didn't have a good game. If Luka was playing the way Luka normally plays, we're routing them, right? We'll never know. All I know is Luka clearly was under the weather, the report was, and you could tell early on in the game he just was not feeling himself. We were used to seeing Luka the last two games starting the first quarter hot. And then as each and every quarter goes by, his points just start to go down. He only ended the game with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. And for the most part, didn't really make much of a difference. I mean, I didn't really feel he impacted the game at all this game. And I'm not even trying to, hate on the man, but I'm pretty sure even he would say so. Normally, if you're getting a good Luka game, a good Luka game usually looks like this. He is dominating offensively to the point where his defensive lapse can't outweigh his offensive output. if you're only giving the team and contributing 17 points while also allowing multiple defenders at your guard and go blow past you and score, you're not going to do really much. So many times I was watching this game, I'm watching just terrible defensive laps from Luka to Rui to even LeBron. I mean, LeBron, I'm pretty sure there's a time in the fourth quarter we were down by like 2. LeBron catches it and then drops it, and instead of getting his ass back to go play defense, he's just sitting there pouting, and it leads to a McDaniels layup and 1. What are we doing? This is the freaking playoffs. And I understand LeBron had a great game, but at the same time, you're the leader. You're the captain. They go as you go. The same with Luka. The same with AR. You can't afford to have laps like that, especially this late in a game. It doesn't make any sense. So overall, the Lakers still had a chance to win, but it was very similar in some ways to the Thunder game without, Luka being thrown out. What I mean by this is they let go of the rope. They had every chance to go take this game in the last 5-6 minutes, and they let go of the rope. Another thing that I noticed, Austin Reeves. I mean, he didn't have a terrible game, but compared to where he was trending from the first half to the second half, not good enough. The first half, he had 14 points. He finished the game with 20. So that means in 2 quarters, you only managed to muster 6 points. Defensively, I thought he actually did a pretty decent job. He, did really well with his coverages, his switching, and things of that nature. Even the times he was having to guard Randall, he wasn't giving up the size that Randall has a clear advantage over him on. He was holding his own, and the team collectively was able to provide support for him in those moments. But overall, offensively, I mean, it's just not good enough. You're not going to win many games when your big three, again, are not contributing the way that they need to be contributing. Outside of LeBron, what did you really get? Luka went 6 for 16, 2 for 8 from 3. AR went 7 for 18. The only good news is he was 5 of 11 from 3. But again, 20 points after having 14 points just in the first half alone. It's just not good enough. And the thing that I'm trying to understand, for all those that keep saying Lakers in 5, there's a reason why I literally said in our previous videos, there's no way in hell the Lakers are beating the Timberwolves in 5 games. You're disrespecting the Timberwolves. Straight up. If you look at the record, yes, the Lakers are the 3 seed, but the Timberwolves, yes, they're the 6 seed, but only by a game. Literally a game. Look at the record. The Lakers finished 50-32. The Wolves finished 49-33. 1 game difference. So you're not playing a mediocre team like the 8 seed or the 7 seed, which in the West, arguably, there's no such thing as a weak team outside of the 8 seed, and barely even that, with, exception of injury up to this point. But I knew that the Timberwolves were going to be a problem for the Lakers because they have the size. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you think you know basketball. The fact that people were saying Lakers in 5, knowing that Rudy Gobert, yes, he's a 4-time defensive player of the year, and yes, Luka Doncic cooked his butt last year. Did he cook his butt with the Lakers? Or did he cook his butt with the Mavs? Let's keep a stack. Because you got to understand, the difference between the Lakers and the Wolves when it comes to playoffs, I don't think people realize the issue. Individually, these players have a lot of good playoff experience on the Lakers. But when we're talking about a team sport, the Lakers have not played collectively with this team at all. With the exception of LeBron, Rui, and Austin, nobody else really has that experience with the team. Rui, even when Rui was playing, he's just too inconsistent. And then Jackson Hayes was never our starting center. Jackson Hayes contributed 2 points. 2 points and 1 rebound in 9 minutes. Couldn't stay on the floor. You just couldn't play him. So many times you'd watch Jackson Hayes in the paint, hoping and praying as a Lakers fan, please just defend the rim. Don't foul. And what does he do? Fouls. If it's not that, he's getting dunked on. If it's not that, he's getting a lay on. If it's not that, you can't do it. He had a great, you know what? Someone made a great point to me. He's a great regular season center. He's not a post center. And we have to get to a point where we actually ask the true question if the Lakers truly are really ready to make a deep run this year. Considering the fact that we gutted the core of our team, which was Anthony Davis and Max Christie, 2 of our top defenders, I guarantee you, if this team right now had a healthier Anthony Davis and a healthy Max Christie, I'm not too worried about the Wolves. Because Anthony Davis can hold his own not only against Rudy Gobert, but he can hold the team collectively responsibly defensively. He was our defensive anchor. LeBron has now become our version of AD, our defensive anchor. You can't have or expect a 40-year-old in year 22 to be our defensive anchor for the Lakers. The oldest person on the team shouldn't be leading us in scoring. With all due respect to him. It's just a bad game. Every single starter on the Lakers, minus. And it's just one of those games where you're just sitting here like, you know what? We didn't deserve that win. We did not deserve that win. It started from the very beginning in the first quarter. You could just smell what kind of game it was going to be. They had 5 or 6 turnovers just in the first quarter alone. Ended the game with 19. I'm pretty sure even Richard Jefferson, the broadcaster for the game, literally stated they're tracking for 20. He wasn't off. He wasn't wrong. Pretty much had 20. You're not going to win a game like that. As for the Timberwolves, to not make this just all about the Lakers, I'm feeling really good. You got another game where Jaden McDaniels scored 30 points. Okay? Another game where Anthony Edwards made a mark in this game, not just in his scoring, but his playmaking. He had 8 assists this game. The last game, I think he had 1 or maybe even 0. I can't remember. Julius Randle, you're going to get easily somewhere between 18 to 23, 24 points a game. He's pretty consistent, reliable. And then your bench. I mean, they only played 3 players on the bench this game, but you still got production from Naz Reid with 11 points. You still got production from DiVincenzo with 10 points. And you got really good defensive playmaking from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So from the Timberwolves perspective, you're feeling really good. You got another home game coming up on Sunday. You just gutted your way to this win. You got really good play not only from Anthony Edwards, who finally showed up after 2 games where he really wasn't playing like him, the way that we all know Anthony Edwards can play. And you got another home game. If you take game 4 and you go up 3-1, it's a wrap. Anthony Edwards, at this point, it's your show. You took down KD last year. Now you're taking down LeBron and Luka. It's your show, bro. At this point, if you don't win the championship this year, man, I don't really know what to think of you. I don't. You over here killing Titans, and you're only 23, 24. You're still young. Same thing with Jaden McDaniels. Still young. He's only 23. So, to me, man, it was a masterclass by the Timberwolves. You guys really showed what you're made of in this game, not only offensively in the moments that really matter, but defensively. Rudy Gobert was a freaking beast. And you just got to love it, because for Rudy to have to hear the storyline from the very beginning of the matchup that Luka's going to cook you. Oh, everybody go after Rudy. He's unplayable. He can't be on the floor. Well, he's clearly showing that he can be on the floor and that this is a completely new year. He played 25 minutes. He didn't really do anything offensively. He only had 1 point, 1 rebound. It's not good, but he had 2 steals and a block. And things that don't show up on the stat sheet, he contested so many plays on the rim. So many times I'd see AR trying to go past Rudy. He's right there stopping it. LeBron trying to go past Randall. Rudy right there on the help defense, stopping it. So Rudy, he's definitely showed up and showed out this game. And this series is not anywhere close to what I think people predicted or expected from Rudy, but he's definitely done his part. Mike Conley, even though he hasn't had the best series so far, arguably this game was his best game. He showed up in moments defensively when you really needed him. He brought the intensity in moments that you really needed him. And he even made timely buckets when you needed him to. So, like I said, overall, Timberwolves had a really good game. And I'll tell you right now, if the Lakers don't strap up their defensive assignments, especially when it comes to McDaniels, they're going to be out of this round real quick. I'm going to just say that. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But at the same time, let's just think of it this way. When the trade originally happened, when we got Luka, what were NBA analysts saying, like Brian Windhorst? Originally, he was saying what? Don't be surprised if the Lakers don't go far this year. He actually had set the tone from the beginning, limiting expectations. Why? Because he knew this is an incomplete roster. This is not a championship roster. And we have to accept that. We don't have any rim protection to save our lives. Outside of Jackson Hayes, we don't even have a center. We don't even have a secondary center to go put out there. Alex Len is not even a secondary center. He's basically not even a bench warmer. He's a cheerleader at this point. And you don't have any solid rim protectors. You barely have any solid perimeter defenders. You're literally having to scrap every single game as a team collectively on the Lakers side just to get stops. And the second one or two players in a defensive frequent miss an assignment, you're done. You're done. So, but this is the time, man. We done heard a lot. We done heard a lot of noise about how the Lakers are going to whoop the tails of the Wolves and how they're going to do this, that, and the third. Well, you're down 2-1. What are you going to do? What are you going to show us? Because at this point, if they don't get it done on Sunday, I don't want to hear nothing for the rest of this year, at least until next season, after we get a chance to see what Rob Pelinka is able to do with building this roster up the way that it needs to be able to substitute the weaknesses that we clearly have this season right now.